Jr., last week's winner. Who'll be this week's winner?
Dave Burns.
Well, BP, Jamie McMurray is in the lead in only his second NASCAR Winston Cup race. And he wasn't showing his hand earlier with this car. That's because he didn't have a hand to show. He wasn't driving the car as hard as his team knows that he could. His crew chief, Lee McCall, team manager, Tony Glover, even his spotter, Lauren Renier, watched his line and told him, Jamie, you can drive the car deeper into the corner. Jamie responded that he didn't want to make a mistake, and they told him, you can do it. So Jamie, for the first time today, is showing what this 40 car really has. It has the lead. It may not give it up.
You know, guys, I was talking to Andy Graves, the team manager for Canassie Racing this morning, and I asked him about Jamie McMurray. And, you know, I could not believe it. He said, this kid is terrific. We're getting great feedback. He knows what he wants in the race car, and he's able to tell us what the race car is doing. And here he is. It looks like Andy Graves is right on.
Yeah, he's running a good line. He's running great lap times. Pretty smooth.
And in only his second NASCAR Winston Cup start, if he should win, and we've still got a ways to go, a little over 100 miles. Remember who has won the earliest in their Winston Cup career? It's not been all that long ago.
I guess it's the 29 car that just passed Kevin Harvick.
Yeah. I guess I gave it away when I used that time when he was passing him to bring it up, huh? Remember Kevin Harvick in those very dark circumstances after Dale Earnhardt passed away, stepping into that car and winning in his third time out down in Atlanta.
Junior trying his best to get by Kurt Busch. Battle for the 9th position.
Yeah, Kurt has just lost the handle on that thing, Benny. I wonder if it has to do with the track temperature. I'm sure it's a lot cooler than when we started.
Well, Matt Yoakum gave us a track temperature just before the race started. Maybe we'll get him to give us another one and we can compare.
You think he would?
Nah, I probably would.
Only if we ask nice. We'll say please.
How about it, Matty?
Oh, he's got to get the gun out.
Oh, he should be ready. He heard us talking about it.
You know. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
But Kurt Busch seems like he just can't keep the car on the bottom. See, in the middle of the corner, up the racetrack it goes. Marty, what's going on with the 24?
Well, he just radioed to his team, and you saw everybody drop their head. He thinks he might have an engine going bad. He said it's picked up a different sound. It could be the tailpipes. Jay Wiles has talked to his crew chief, Robbie Loomis. Jay Wiles is the engine tuner for Jeff Gordon. They think it might be something wrong with the tailpipes maybe, but Jeff said he's noticed a little bit of a loss of power, but it has definitely changed the pitch of the noise that he hears inside the car.
And sometimes a header can crack, and it will change the noise in the car, and you will lose a little power if the things do crack.
It hasn't changed his lap speeds any, though. He's still staying up where he was last several laps around, so.
And we see no smoke coming from the car.
We'll just keep an eye on it and follow it along. He's trying to catch Jeff Burton for 5th place there. Okay, Matt, I knew if I asked nice, you'd come up with the info for us.
Alan, do you have a number 2 pencil?
No, but I got a pen. It'll do.
If you have a Sharpie, 76.8 degrees.
Okay.
And it was about 77 when we started?
Benny, it was 77.7 degrees. You dropped the green flag.
You don't get it any more consistent than that.
That's why
we'll never see that again.
That's why we go to Matt for that information. We know he'll get us the details right down to the fine points.
So, temperature change is not what has caused the 97 car
that's for sure
to lose the handle.
Remember this race 1 year ago. Sterling Marlin ran away from Tony Stewart in the final laps to pick up the victory. Jamie McMurray driving the same car that Marlin powered his way to the winner's circle 1 year ago.
And don't you know Sterling? I had forgotten about poor Sterling. Poor old Sterling sitting at his home back in Tennessee. Don't you know he's sick about right now?
First time winners this season. The 2 super rookies plus Kurt Busch. I saw Sterling here earlier this weekend. Matter of fact, Friday night, Felix Sabat is one of the co-owners of this team, has once again purchased an interest in the local minor league hockey team, Charlotte Checkers, and Sterling was down doing something between periods and dropping the ceremonial first puck and all that kind of thing.
Uh-oh. The teammate to the 40 car is slow. Jimmy Spencer.
See, all the lights are lit up.
Yeah.
Which means it's not running.
The drive line. I finished gearing it won't even all doesn't slide to the tires. Temple.
Shut them off. Take it to the garage.
Gauges look okay? This is all still normal. 190 and 210. Water temperature is 190 and the oil is 210. That's, I don't know what happened to it. It just stuff broke, you know. I'll filter in and look at it.
That was Ken Schrader's car that Spencer went by. Schrader's going to the garage. Dave?
As I'm listening to the same radio transmission you are on Jimmy Spencer, it just quit running. And of course, this presents the same scenario that we're seeing with the Hendricks cars having problems. The 36 car of Kenny Schrader, which is a Hendrick customer for the motors, just blew up. Now the 41 car teammate to the leader, Jamie McMurray, with motor problems. Could they have the same issue? Of course, don't get confused, they're not Hendrick motors, but these two Dodge cars are obviously having motors from the same shop. And Jimmy Spencer is no longer in this event.
Dave, Schrader drove the 36 car into the garage area. I don't know. He might have an engine problem, but in fact, he drove it in.
Well, we'll get a follow-up on that. Meantime, 5th place has changed hands. Jeff Gordon has passed Jeff Burton. Dave?
Well, yeah, just wanted to respond to BP there. They did say to me in the 36 pit that it was a motor issue, but like you, I see the 36 car under power now, too, going through the garage area, so we'll do a little further follow-up.
I feel a road trip for Dave coming on.
Yeah.
Pit road back into the garage.
Dave's going to explore the garage area.
All right, so Jeff Gordon up to 5th. And we are down inside the final 100 miles. 60 laps to go. Expecting some pit stops shortly. In fact, the 2nd place car is in now. Here's Bobby Labonte, Matt.
And Alan, this is a little bit unscheduled. All of a sudden, the crew guys jumped up on the wall, and Bobby Labonte says, I think I've got a left front tire going down. Now remember, earlier in the race, we told you that Bobby didn't feel comfortable on a set of tires. Sure enough, the right front had been cut by almost an inch. It was losing air pressure. He caught a lucky caution. This time, though, not so lucky. Mark Armstrong hits the lugs on the left front, and he's down.
And I believe the left front tire was flat. Sure looked like it, didn't it, Wally?
I agree, Ben. It did look low.
But he might have caught a break because I think he can make it the rest of the way without stopping again.
Oh, yeah.
Matt?
Well, Mark Martin came on the radio a few laps ago and says, I think I'm now down on 7 cylinders. Now, this may go along with the 97 of Kurt Busch because he came on the radio a few laps ago and said that the right valence must be up or the motor is laboring. They feel like they might have a problem on the 97 as well.
It sure looks like it because he just got passed by the 14 car of Mike Wallace. It looks like he's really down on power, obviously.
Yeah, left him on the straightaway. Let's mention, Benny, you said Bobby Labonte should be able to make it to the finish on fuel. That should be no problem. He was about 20 laps early on his pit stop, though. So he needs the thing to stay green for another 20 laps.
Until all the other cars pit.
Yep. And then he'll be back in the middle of things.
Marty?
Well, it is a terminal problem for Ken Schrader, and let's talk to Jeff Andrews. Randy Dorton is not here. Jeff, what's going on? The 25 lost an engine, now the 36.
I'm not sure, Marty. We've got some problems here, possibly bottom end wise in both motors. This particular one here dropped a cylinder burst, and the one in the 25 was just something all of a sudden. So not anything related to last weekend. We just got some other problems going on here.
There is some concern about the 24 car. He said he noticed a different pitch in the engine. Is that, you know anything about that?
Yeah, about 80 laps ago, we noticed on a stop that the motor kind of had a different tone. I believe they got a tailpipe problem with that car.
All right, so that could be the problem for Jeff Gordon, but this is 2 of the Hendrick engines that are now done for the day.
So Ken Schrader's out of the race. Jimmy Spencer's gone to the garage. Matt Kenseth is out. Todd Bodine, Robbie Gordon, Ricky Rudd, Joe Nemechek, Hermie Sadler, Stacy Compton, Jason Hutleski. A lot of attrition today.
Okay, Matt, did he have a flat tire?
Benny, the right front had a cut on Bobby Labonte's Pontiac. The one thing about Labonte, yes, he is running back in the 16th position. Mark Cronquist told me they were about 7 or 8 laps shy when they were going to make their scheduled stop, but they are in their window. They should be able to make it on this tank of fuel.
And we can see Bobby Labonte with these 4 fresh tires is very, very fast. As a matter of fact, if the 40 car waits until he gets into his window, Labonte's probably going to be several seconds in front of him. Will he have enough time to chase him down? That's if the caution flag should come out before McMurray has to make that pit stop.
Let's mention Jimmy Spencer's car is retired for the race, engine failure. Getting a report the 6 might be pushing some fluid out. So we'll keep an eye on that. Meantime, Bobby Labonte's flying on those fresh tires, like you said a second ago, BP.
Yeah. Never see Mark Martin. Now we don't see any fluid from the car.
How about this? If you're the 40 car, if you're Lee McCall or Tony Glover, Jamie McMurray's pit bosses, do you think about pitting early, knowing the 18 car was the one you were racing for the win and he's got fresh tires and he's making time up on you? Do you short pit here, knowing you can go to the finish on fuel?
That has to be a consideration. But if the caution flag comes out, the 18 cars are lap down to you. So he's virtually eliminated.
Some tough decisions to make.
Very tough decision.
Still catching some radio traffic back and forth.
We're coming. Next time by, 4 tires.
Okay, Glover can't stand it anymore. He said, next time by, we're coming in. Going to change tires. Now.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing you are. Go ahead.
Jimmy Johnson here in the 600 slid through his pit.
Yeah.
This is a pit stop that might win the race for him. Got to be careful. He can't speed down pit road and get the car in the box. Do not slide through.
3900 at the cone. 3900, second gear.
Biggest pressure pit stop this guy's made in his career.
Dave Burns, watch that yellow line.
BP, he's made 2 years worth of pit stops in the Busch Series, but now in his second Winston Cup race, he pits as the leader. This fuel will take him to the end, the extra man over the wall, giving him a clear windscreen. 4 tires for this crew who has taken Sterling Marlin to 2 wins this year. They performed their work at a good pace. Jamie, moving the tires just a little bit before the last lugs went on the rear tires, but Jamie's off of pit road.
Pretty good pit stop, and he made that stop perfect. Stop in his box perfectly.
Just got to get off the rest of pit road without speeding, and it looks like he's done that and cleared himself away. There's Tony Stewart, now the race leader. Rusty Wallace is second. Meantime, watching the relative positions of McMurray and Bobby Labonte to see how they come up on the racetrack. We'll check on that in a minute.
I would guess that Labonte's going to be several car lengths in front of him.
No, he's behind him.
Is he really? Wow. Man, that is awesome.
Michael Waltrip in for a final pit stop as we watch Tony Stewart, the leader, and see how long he pushes it before he peels off and comes in. Stewart, the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship leader, 72 points ahead of Mark Martin at the start of the day. Led the first 16 laps of the race, didn't lead again until just now when Jamie McMurray went to pit road. How about the 40 and the 18? How'd they come off pit road?
Well, it looks like the 18 is catching them.
And I'm surprised the 40 car made a pit stop later than the 18, but in fact, he's still in front. There he is. But you're right, 18 is coming fast.
If there's no caution flag, this will be the race for the lead. Meantime, the green flag stops continue for the other leaders, Marty.
Back on lap 223, we told you Jeff Gordon said the track was coming to him. That is still the case. Concerning the engine problem, not a word since that first mention by Jeff Gordon. A little bit loose. They had a pound to the right front tire for Jeff Gordon. Very happy with the car. He was running fourth when he came down pit road.